y'all, and welcome to today's video. We are going to be playing with the new ColourPop Star Wars C-3PO palette. I'm very excited. I bought this on launch day. I want to swatch this palette. I want to create a look with it. I'm excited to have this added to my ColourPop Star Wars collection, and I just want to play with it, create a look. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today so you don't miss out on any of my new makeup content. But I can't wait to swatch this, play with it, so let's jump into it. Alright y'all, so I ordered the new ColourPop Star Wars C-3PO palette. I really like that ColourPop is doing this whole Star Wars range. I can show you the other palettes that I have from the Star Wars collection at the end of this video, but for right now, let's kind of focus on this 9-pan palette. First of all, the cover is so cute, and this isn't necessarily a color story that I would normally go for. I will show you a close-up of the palette, but as you can see, it's a very gold. It's very gold, but the packaging, the concept, the theming, that's what drew me in. My husband and my kid are huge Star Wars fans. They absolutely love it. So I've enjoyed adding these palettes to my collection, and I had to get this one. I couldn't let this one be the one that got away, you know? I will say I really like that we have two yellowy mattes here. I like that we have a deep dark matte. I like that we have a really light shimmer shade. So we're gonna play around with this palette. I wanna show you swatches so that you can see how it swatches out on my arm. Like I said, I do like that it goes from light to dark, and I want to see if I can create a very dramatic look with this one. I also really like the mirror. It has C-3PO, R2-D2. It says beep, boop, beep, and oh my, right there. So I think that is absolutely adorable. We even have his little image up here and then R2-D2 down here. So I'm going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom y'all in, and we are going to create a look with this C-3PO palette. Now, I will link it down below for y'all in case you want to check it out. If you're on a low buy, a no buy, maybe you can shop your stash, see if you can recreate this. Or maybe you're like me and you're like, I bought the palette, I needed to add it to my collection. Maybe I can kind of give you a tutorial with this palette, help you with creating looks with it, or maybe you just want to hang out. I'm happy you're here. I'm going to prime my eyes with my Sigma Ignite Eye Base. I'm going to zoom y'all in and we're going to play with these shadows. Okay, eyes are primed. To start off, I'm grabbing this What's Up Beauty R105, and I want to go in with this deep dark brown shade. We're going to start with the drama because I want a dramatic look. Now I'm going to make sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer, and I'm going to press this brown shade right on to the primer. I want to have this dark and pigmented, so I'm pressing it right on like that. I love how deep and dark this is right off the bat. Right off the bat, I'm happy. I'm not going to worry about blending too much because I do want to add in some of that yellow in a minute. So right now, I'm just getting that shade down, and then I'll just kind of buff in just a little bit. But what I want to do next actually is grab this brush. This is like an angled brush. It's a Unearthly 8-3 brush. And we are going to go into this shade right down here, this kind of a dirty yellow. So that first shade, what is it called? It was called Programming, and this shade is called Companion. And I'm just going to put this right on the edge of this deep dark brown shade that we have, and I want to buff that in so that we have this dark matte fading into this yellow matte. So I'm just going to put the shadow there, and I'm going to kind of blend out the brown with this yellow so that we have a nice kind of transition shade going. Okay, I'm really liking how those shades blended together. I want to go in with that deep dark brown. This is a really old Sosu brush, And I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. I want to keep it right up against those lower lashes like this, not blending it out too far. And then I'm going to take a fluffier brush like this one, and I want to grab this shade right here. This is light, like yellowy shade up top. I'm going to dust off any excess, and I'm just going to lightly buff that down here at the bottom. Like that, just to add a little bit of yellow in with that brown, back and forth like this. Ooh, that is pretty. Okay, I'm happy with this so far. I really like most ColourPop shadows. I really think they've been stepping it up, especially this past year or so with their formulas. I think they're just so nice. So I'm just gonna buff this in. Okay, for the lid, I want to put two shimmers. So I want to have like a darker shimmer, a lighter shimmer, and then a bright shimmer on the inner corner. So the three shades I'm going to reach for are this deep darker gold over here, and then I'm going to go in with, ooh, which one? I think I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to go with this one right here, Droid. And then for the inner corner, I'm going to use Bolt right here. Sorry, this packaging is like light yellow, and then the print is in like a darker yellow, and I'm like, listen, I'm 35. I can't read that. It's too small. It's too small, the print. I feel like I sound like my mom. Okay, I'm picking that up on this. My mom's going to text me like, what? I'm picking this up on an Unearthly 8-9 brush. I am going to spray my brush. I'm going to put this in the outer half of the lid. Okay, so I'm going to look down into my mirror, and I'm going to press this shade on. So I'm holding my mirror down like this so that I can see, and I'm going to just press this deeper gold. I'm going to take it up pretty high, like here's the socket of my eye right here. I'm going to take it up like that right here, just kind of pressing that shade on because I want it to be nice and bright and intense. And then I'm going to take this Unearthly 8-8 brush, and then we'll go into that lighter gold called Droid. All right, I'm going to take that, and this is going to go on the inner part of my lid. See, here's my crease right here, and I'm going to even take it up like that. I'm just going to press it on like this, just like that. Not worried about blending yet, not stressing myself about blending. I'm gonna grab this BH Cosmetics brush, and I'll go into that last shade, Bolt. This is a Super Shock formula, and I'm just going to press that on to the inner corner. Very pretty. I love how we have the contrast between like the yellow, the brown, the yellow. That's going to be really pretty. And then I'm going to go back with the brush I used with that deep dark brown matte, and I'm just going to buff, blend, see if there's anything that I need to touch up. But I do want to put on some mascara, and then I will be back and we'll see how the look comes together with mascara. But here is the finished look. All right, y'all, here is the finished look with C-3PO palette. I really like it. I love the contrast of the deep dark brown to the bright golds. I think that's really, really fun. And I feel like it's so perfect for the fall season. Listen, I'll wear neon at Christmas time. I'll wear pastels in October. I don't care. But sometimes it is fun to get inspired by the changing seasons. And I think this is really, really, really pretty for fall. Now, I did put on some NYX liquid liner up top. I put on Vieve half lashes. On the lower waterline, I used my Hindash eyeliner. I'll link it down below. And then for my blush, I have on ColourPop Super Shock Cheek 360. And for highlight, I have on the first two shades in this Super Shock highlighter palette. This is Might as Shell. So cute. This is the Star Wars Dark Lord lipstick with a melt lip liner. I'll put it in the description box. And then, what is this? Grogu lip oil from the Mandalorian collection. Okay, let me kind of show you the other ColourPop Star Wars palettes. So the first one that we had was this one. This is Grogu, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him, adorable. And I really, really enjoyed this palette. I bought this at launch. I have videos on all of these Star Wars palettes. If you want to see, you can check out my ColourPop playlist for sure. But this is a really, really good quality palette. Let me hold it up next to C-3PO just so you can kind of see how it compares to the rest of them. I think these would be really, really beautiful palettes like mixed together for looks. I think they would complement each other really well. But of course you can see this one is kind of lighter green with the warm tones in here. And then the next palette that launched in this kind of line was the Mandalorian palette. So we have the Mandalorian there, and then we have a cooler tone color story. I really like this. We have a blue brown kind of duochrome in the center. We have more of a cool tone color story. Again, I think these two would pair really beautifully together. I really, 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 really liked this one. This one may be my favorite of the 9 pans actually. And then from there we had the Darth Vader palette. This one is definitely cool toned with pops of red. Well, a pop of red and a burgundy kind of plum purple shade down at the bottom. Really, really, really beautiful. Again, I have a video on that. But I have to say my favorite, okay, so you saw C-3PO. My favorite is the larger palette. It's the just the Star Wars palette. They took it like back to the beginning with this one, and I love. This is my favorite because you do have cool tones. You also have warm tones. You have the blue and the red inspired by the lightsabers, I think is really fun. Of course, I think you could, whoops, I'm trying to hold them both up and they're like, the magnetic closures is wanting to fight me. Here we go. I think these could still pair really, really beautifully together if you wanted to. I really think the yellow tones in here paired with the blues would be fun to create a look. This, of course, like I said, my personal favorite. But look, I'm just so happy to have these all together. I hope they continue with this Star Wars line. I think that would be super duper fun. I think there are so many characters in the Star Wars universe that they could be inspired by. So I think that's really fun. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I had fun with it. I'm glad to have this palette in my collection. I'm going to enjoy it, and it's gonna look, it's gonna sit and be best friends with the rest of the Star Wars series palettes. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you want to see more content, make sure you subscribe because I'm probably gonna have a video every single day this week, and there's just content coming. I have lots of things planned, so make sure you subscribe. Thank you for being here. Please leave me a comment down below. Even if you just want to leave an emoji, it helps so much. But thank you again for being here, and I will see you tomorrow in a new video. Bye.